You know what I hate? You know what I can't stand? I go to visit friends' houses and they'll be like, yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos about interior design and I've been like looking up a lot of images and stuff. And then I decorate it and I look around their house and it feels like an IKEA catalog. And I've noticed so many of them, or not an IKEA catalog. Sometimes it feels like farmhouse chic. There are like a couple different things it could feel like, right? But whatever genre it feels like it was staged and it doesn't feel very like this has anything to do with their own personal style. Yeah, Pinterest setups or not lived in, right? And I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know. Because I think back to back in the day, going to like friends' houses and stuff and how their parents had like weird, you know, some people just have a certain type of style, whatever. And I felt like there was so much more individual style. I think we're losing that. I think we're losing that because all these people take pictures, of their own rooms, their own areas and post them. And then other people just go, I want that. Instead of just like trying to figure out their own space on their own bit by bit, you know? I don't know. That shit's weird. It feels dystopian. I don't know. It makes the world feel dystopian, right? When you go to anyone's house and you're like, I've seen this house, right? I've seen this in a catalog, you know? But then, I have a lot of friends that are older, much older, and I go into their homes and I walk into that space and it feels nothing like any other space. And it's not that it's so crazy, unique, and quirky. It's just that it's just individualized, right? That's all it is. That's all it is. IKEA's cheap becomes the norm. I get that, but it's not necessarily about choice of furniture piece. It's everything altogether, you know? It's everything. You're thinking that's why coffee houses are now gray and corporate? No, I think... this is one that I actually disagree with. So people will post... I keep seeing this on Twitter. People will post a picture of like old Pizza Hut or old McDonald's and how the building was like really beautifully decorated. They have got like the special Pizza Hut roof, you know, or whatever. And then they post pictures of them nowadays, and they're showing how all the fast food chains look the same. And they're like, oh, bring it back. You know, where's the whimsy? Honestly, shut up. That's one I disagree with. And I'll tell you why. Because if I want to franchise something, and I'm like, I want to open a Dunkin' Donuts, and the only building available is an old Pizza Hut, it looks like an old Pizza Hut. Do you know how much money I'd have to put in to change all this and how much waste of building material would have to happen where I'm ripping the roof off and shit, you know, so that it can look like a normal building so I can turn it into a Dunkin' Donuts, right? All this super individualized stuff with all these buildings that's like extremely custom makes it hard to change anything. It's terrible. And it's wasteful. It's so wasteful of materials because these businesses often, like franchises, don't really last in an area. They tend to move around a lot. And it sucks. It sucks. So then when you have a more generic building, it's way lower cost. It's much less wasteful to just slap a different logo on there and now it's a different bit. You know what I mean? I think they should do more than the color gray. Yeah, they should repaint them probably. I would like some color. Absolutely repaint them. But I don't think you need like a custom roof and fucking like, you know, these like stained glass lampshades that only work for Pizza Hut because they say Pizza Hut on them. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's cool, but I don't have a desire to bring it back because I recognize that on a large scale that gets really wasteful, you know? It's not good. It's not good. I think they should have maybe some like major locations that have that design style, but they don't need to do that everywhere, you know? But I'm just saying. I don't think that that's that important. I'm cool with the buildings being cubes. It's fine. You know, it's fine. Just paint them. I am tired of the gray. I agree with you on that. I'm tired of the gray, man. Any other color, please. And I love gray. Everything in my house is like gray, you know? I should say everything in my office is gray, including one of my cats. Like, it's just literally everything. So I get it. That's because it's my space. It's my area, you know? Millennial gray. No, I always liked gray. Ever since I was a wee bab, everything I bought was gray. What color do you want this jacket in? Gray. Always. That's just me. You know? He said there's a Pizza Hut on stilts near you that got converted into offices. It looks goofy. A Pizza Hut on stilts. It probably looks like a Baba Yaga hut, right? I can't imagine that it looks even halfway normal. A Pizza Hut on stilts just sounds stupid. Oh, man. Yeah, it has to be like right near the water, I imagine. That's funny. Oh, man. But yeah, I don't know. I see people like make all these posts complaining about their like, I'm I miss the whimsy. Why don't they design buildings like this anymore? And I'm like, I don't think anyone has the money to be doing that. I'm sure these giant billion-dollar companies do, but the people that franchise those are usually not the ones with $1 billion, you know? It depends. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. It depends on what business. And some businesses don't even franchise. They own all of their chains. So that's where I'm like, But even then, I don't think it does a neighborhood any good to have, like, you know, a building that's standalone that has a Pizza Hut roof. Because when that is eventually not a Pizza Hut, a small business owner is not going to have the money to get in there and be like, let me make this roof make sense. You know, they're going to be stuck with the Pizza Hut roof. And it's like, and then they're going to be like, oh, it's my burger shop. And people are never going to call it that dude's burgers. They're going to be like, oh yeah, it's the old Pizza Hut. And that small business owner will like never, ever, ever be able to have people recognize their business as anything other than the old Pizza Hut. You know what I mean? So I don't want the stupid Pizza Hut roofs, dude. I'm good. Let the shell of the building be normal, and then just paint it. Just be like interesting on the inside, you know? You have a kebab place that's an old Pizza Hut. They made the roof brown and it works fine. Yeah, but the thing is, everyone's gonna drive past and be like, oh yeah, just a Pizza Hut roof, you know? It's workable, but like, you know, kebab hut. No establishment will ever escape the stigma of crack macs in my experience. Yeah. Oh man, a long time ago, I had seen there was this McDonald's that had a full play place and everything, and it had closed down because it was like very small, so they built a new one elsewhere. But this play place still existed. So many businesses tried to exist in that space, but they just couldn't. They just couldn't because it was a McDonald's play place. It was like impossible. And then, you know, people thought maybe the location's cursed, and I'm like, no, it's the building, dude. It looked like an old McDonald's, like a really classic one. And eventually a builder comes in and changes that shit up, you know, took some of the stuff that was part of the play place and like donated it to a local park so they could at least reuse the pieces, and then made it into a normal building and a little restaurant. And then that restaurant did super well. And I was like, dude, it's the curse of McDonald's, man. Yeah, crack max. It's just, I don't know. Let the buildings be boring boxes and then just paint them really nicely on the inside. Nice interior design, you know? A nice sign, perhaps. Ooh, you said an old halal place still has the McDonald's flagpole. Remember those? Oh, yeah. I do like agree with the nostalgia factor of looking back at those old pictures and being like, yeah, that was cool. That was a cool time. But it's so wasteful in the end, you know? I feel. How am I gonna give you the cake? It doesn't work like that. Let me just shove it through the mic and just, you know, and it'll just come out of your speakers.